Okay, we have US Chicago PMI coming out, which stands for Chicago Purchasing Managers Index. And this particular indicator measures manufacturing activity excuse me measures manufacturing activity in the Chicago area, which is considered kind of a heartland of manufacturing in the United States. And the expectations is that this number will come out at 54. And basically, the way this number is calculated is manufacturing managers are surveyed and they're asked how their industry is doing. And if basically more of them are saying that they're doing well, this number will read above 50. If more of them are saying that they're not doing so well, this number will be below 50. So a number above 50 signifies expansion in manufacturing activity. A number below 50 signifies contraction. Now this report on its own measures a very small area of the United States, and most likely it would be ignored unless, but the reason it's not ignored is because of its timing. As you know, tomorrow we have ISM manufacturing coming out after non-farm payroll, which overall is considered a huge mover. And basically Chicago PMI is strategically released one day before the ISM manufacturing, and it is considered that it's supposed to give hints of what the ISM manufacturing will do. Now, to be honest with you, the correlation between the two reports is between 60 to 65% only, but it's definitely better than 50-50. So even though the correlation is not that strong, it's still above 60%, and because of that, the Chicago PMI gets some attention, and we'll see what happens. Basically, Chicago PMI officially comes out at 9:45 a.m. But what happens is it's released to a special subscriber group about 3 minutes earlier, about 9:42 or so. And I will probably get it at that time when it's released to the special subscriber group, and based on that I will give, whether it's a buy or sell or whatever, I'll announce a number and tell you what I'm doing, whether I'm buying the GBP USD or selling the GBP USD. Now my triggers, as you can see here, my regular 5 pips limit triggers I set here are +3 and -3, and the reason it's +5 is because we should not see any big moves or any big spikes as soon as the number is released. The move is usually very slow, and many times takes about 45 minutes to fully manifest itself, unless of course it goes in the opposite direction and we decide to exit early. So that's the situation with this indicator. I do not suggest paying any high spread on this. If you have high spread, don't pay it. Wait for it to normalize, because as I said, the move is generally slow. I am going to be trading this report on my MB trading platform, and I'm assuming if you have a Wanda, that shouldn't affect this. The spread shouldn't go up at the time we get the number. Maybe it'll go up at like 9:45, but we're should get the number like 2-3 minutes early, and none of the spread should be widened by then. To be honest with you, I'm thinking of closing my Wanda account. It's pretty much become useless. I'm doing 90% of my trading on MB trading, and the money is just sitting there. and I very rarely get any trades that are executed within my pip bounds. So I'm really seriously considering disclosing it. I don't think it's worth it anymore. I'll let you know if I do. So that's the situation. If the number comes out at 57 or above, it would be a possible sell in GBP USD towards US dollar strength. And if the number comes out at 51 or below, it would be a possible buy on GBP USD. Most likely, if the number is between those two numbers, it's going to be a no trade. It would be too close to the expectations. And the manufacturing activity has been doing well in the United States recently. Due to the weaker dollar, the manufacturers are becoming somewhat more competitive on the more or less global scale, because the dollar has weakened against pretty much all currencies, and it's pretty much one of the only sectors that's doing relatively well. We saw a relatively good reading, I believe, last month, as far as I remember, and we'll just see what happens here. Okay, it was a sell. Came out at 61.7. So as you can see, we saw, quite a bit of a drop. So it came out at 61.7, very, very high. So yeah, guys, that was a sell, and yeah, but the spread on the one that went after we got the number, right? What were some of your fills, guys?